It's unethical to pay writers and reporters to do story from an editorial perspective. From the process, okay.
Yes. Sit here with Mary, video 10.
The conversation continues. Sips tea. Anyway, that conversation, as much as it, I mean, you've painted such amazing context to the story. I wanted to say this. I don't want us to get lost in the drama and the madness of the story.
Yes.
I want us to also stick to the lessons.
Yes.
You are really, really good at your job. By the time you guys are watching this, what you don't understand, the strategy that has gone behind this, there's execution that has gone behind this, there's what we want to be your takeout that has gone. It's not just two people having a random conversation. It's very calculated. Of course, there's opportunities for people to be themselves, but it's calculated to extract value.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
You are doing this so young and positioning this guy so well that by the time you mentioned his name, all of us, at least majority of us in the room, knew who he was.
Yeah.
Different demographics, different situations in life.
Yeah.
We had done it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say you are really good at your job. And even at that time,
Yes.
you were really good at your job.
Yeah.
You had the connections.
Yes.
You had the trust from people for
Yeah.
them to get a story from you.
Yeah.
I mean, you are negotiating for a TV show for this guy.
Yeah. A radio show.
A radio show, sorry.
Yeah.
And you had gotten to the final place of now, literally due diligence.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. For me, as I said, when I believe in something, I go all the way out. I just get the correction on the way. So I really believed his story. So even as I'm calling all these people, I called top tier media, top tier shows at that point. I called everyone and I'm like, you have to have this guy on your show. He's good. He's doing this. He's young. He's invested in 1,700 companies because I believed the story at the beginning. But then it was also a lesson for me, definitely from a business perspective. Make sure you do your due diligence. Not, mostly due diligence when I'm dealing with clients. Don't be too naive. Don't walk like you're still in Garariga. Come to Nairobi, but also now apply wisdom in how you're living life, in how you're doing business. Yeah. So those are some of the lessons that I picked, but also for me, very personal is what I was saying earlier about learning to be a leader, the making of a leader, that these things were meant to build me in the inside to become the leader I was meant to be.
There's something you spoke about earlier that I want to bring back here. And that's the intertwining of spiritualness with life.
Yes.
Discernment is such a powerful tool to helping people not have gotten into these things. At that time, if you had used your discernment, if you had known how to do it and use it, you'd have just been like, there's something telling me that's off about this guy.
Yeah. But I was still in the process of growth. And also that was allowed in my journey. I needed to go through that for the lessons. But also to see truly that all things work together for good. I'm telling you, after 1 week, we had so many calls. People are like, everyone in this country knew this guy. You're the one who put him up there. You have to put us there. You have to tell our story. So, yeah.
But did any of them lead to signing up?
Yeah, there are 2 or 3, I guess.
Yeah.
2 or 3 who led to signing up, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, so continue then now with the story.
So, at that point now, I remember my mind is still at tech, how PR and tech come together. So I start thinking of an idea of how I can create a platform for tech for PR people. And then one day, it's still 2015. So at that point, I've moved out from my aunt. I'm living at Ngong Road, and I'm staying with a housemate. She was also in communications. So she tells me, by the way, there are these people who have this event called the Web Summit in Europe, and they're looking for people with unique ideas, and they're actually interviewing people who do like to be interviewed. I'm like, okay, cool. I have a tech idea for PR people. So I get interviewed. They actually tell me they've shortlisted me to go for their event. But then it happened that it was 1 week too. So they tell me, actually, you don't have to come for the event now. We have another event next year, 2016, April in the US. You can come for that. We've shortlisted you. You can come and exhibit. We have paid, like, we're going to pay for you 90%, just commit the 10%. We're going to pay for you 90% of everything. So again, now my mind is opened up. I'm like, wait, I'm going to the US and I'm actually going to
They love my idea.
Yeah, they loved my idea, so it must be a good idea. And I'm going to present my idea. So between the trending, between getting over that, between growing, between signing up clients, and also now trying to build a team. Now there's this place in my mind, I was like, I also need to now start building the company. But then I'm still struggling. Even in the people who signed up, I don't know why that is very, why people struggle with paying SMEs. We are still, we have these struggles of people paying us.
Yep.
So it was such a, what's the word? It was such a struggle, fight. You have to keep calling for people to pay, even if they signed contract, you know, it's a whole fight. So there's still that going on. So we were
So
still
this
not
affects in your cash flows in terms of how much money you have.
Yeah.
You're old, but then how much do you have to do your runnings?
To do your runnings, yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask, and with media and with PR, is there payment to the writers? Is there payment to the stations?
It's unethical to pay writers and reporters to do story from an editorial perspective.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this
You
is...
pitch your story. A writer can choose to pick your story or not. But then if you have like a tech client, you make sure you know who writes about tech in your country, and then you go and pitch to them and tell them how that story will add value to their content.
Yes.
But of course, a lot has changed, but it's unethical, and I've never paid. We don't pay media for that. Of course, we take them for breakfast. We give them giveaways, but it's unethical to pay a writer or a reporter to write your story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just on that basis,
Yeah.
as a gospel musician,
Yes.
there came a time where getting play, money needed to be put on the table.
Yeah.
So what's the balance between thank you for giving me, and I like DJ Kroba because when he came to CTA, he said, me, bro, don't ever pay me. People would even to send him a 10 Gs and say thank you.
Yeah.
And he sends it back. And
Yeah.
he says, I'm not playing your song because you get.
Yeah.
So I can now imagine that in politics. I can imagine that
In
with
business.
in business.
Yeah. So it's more, I mean, we don't struggle much, especially when you're doing tech PR, because they also, the journalists who write about tech and business, they also want to be part of a new product that, like, for example, Uber is our client, the new product that Uber has come up with, or a new product if you're working with
Did
Facebook.
you just throw that on the side?
Yeah,
Just
I know.
Uber is your client.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a new product that Google has or whatever. So it's part of, and it's newsworthy.
Okay, I get
So
it.
it's now, that's why strategy come in. So we are not just coming to say this cap looks like this. It's more of strategy and the narrative that you want to push, and also now being strategic and making it newsworthy. How does it affect someone who is reading it? How does it give value to the public who are reading the newspaper?
I get
so
it.
you think throughout. Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
doing interview to say Mary works in PR.
Yeah.
Give Mary a business.
Yeah, no.
It is, who is Mary?
Yeah.
Hi, is it, oh, this story happened like this? Yeah. Give Mary your business. you get what I mean?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
making fun of it.
Yes,
but
yes.
I'm trying to say you're using creative ways that are value to the person.
Yeah.
And in that now finding ways to make the value, the product value to them.
Yeah. Because people need to learn, even SMEs, everyone needs to learn to tell their stories.
But Mary,
Yeah.
isn't this new? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the day, stories were like, this company has released this new product. Wasn't it
In
very,
Kenya, yeah, but
yes.
I mean, of course, other markets have really developed. So we are still, so PR was new. Actually, when I came into the industry, it's after, and I look back at even some of the independent PR agencies that came about, they are like 10, 8, 9 years. And I tend to believe the fact that I took that step and went out and started. People also saw that there's a possibility to start out a PR agency despite where you are. There was that, number one. And then now the industry started evolving and started growing.
Yes.
We are yet to get there, because now when you go to other countries like Tanzania, the media in Tanzania will ask you, you have to pay me. So it's different in different countries. You go
Okay.
to West Africa, a place like Senegal, if you're doing a campaign there, the media will be like, I'm not coming to your event, you have to pay us. And they're small. You go to Ghana, there are like 4 media houses, so it's different dynamics across the continent.
Yes.
But from an authentic perspective, we don't pay to do that. We pitch stories.
Okay.
Yes, we pitch stories. So from Media Council of Kenya, I think what has been put out is it's unethical to pay them, but people still do them to appreciate them.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, from where I am, there are no rules. You don't now go telling people, don't do this and that.
Exactly.
But now going to the conversation of discernment, going to the conversation of how should I be with this particular person. So for me, because of the relationships I've had for years, since then to now, I mean, of course, people have changed, but there are people I can call and I'm like, and when I'm telling people to come and cover a story, I don't like just covering a story for the sake of covering a story. I want it to be newsworthy. I think through. I tell my team, we need to think through. We are not just telling people, oh, this company has launched this and this, and then.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
let's think through. Let's come up with op-eds. Let's come up with thought leadership articles. Let's now use digital media. So also the introduction of digital media is quite key, because now people can use what we call owned media, because it's supposed to be earned media.
Yes.
And now there's owned media that now people can take advantage of to tell their stories. Yeah.
But the problem with owned media, sometimes it doesn't have, you're starting from ground.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
Hence where influencer marketing comes in.
Yeah.
But influencer marketing, it is clear you are paying for this.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
But my question, just because you've brought this world up,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the balance from a PR perspective of paid for PR? You see, you guys are being paid for strategy and thinking and the understanding of how do we position you out there.
Yeah.
But then, let me use CT as an example.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who, for me, are throwing cash to sit here, to sit where you're seated. But I'm like, the story is not going to be of value.
Yeah. To my audience.
To my audience.
Yeah.
And there's somebody who I may need to come for free.
Yeah.
But this room is not free. All our meals are not free.
Yeah.
These camera guys are not free. You get? So what's your version of the balance between paid and free, and doing PR in that aspect?
So paid media is now what goes into marketing.
Honey, you're good.
Yeah. So what is unpaid and what we do and pitch to journalists from an editorial perspective is not paid.
Wow.
And that's public relations, because you're being endorsed by the third party. That's why when we took this guy to Jeff Koinange's show, everyone, I mean, was the top show, JK Live something. It was a top show at that particular moment in the country. So people believed Jeff has endorsed this guy. That's it.
Yes.
He blows up.
Trust transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, I love what you're saying. That's a huge distinction that you said.
Yeah.
It's why they're always cutting PR budgets first.
Yeah.
Because in their world, they look like, to the people who are cutting it, they think that, I just need marketing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, you need both.
You need PR. PR should be the hub of everything. That's why your key messages should come from. Even if you're putting on a billboard, your key message should be crafted from the PR, because that's where we shape narratives, shape messages, shape the key communication that you want to communicate to the audience, to your audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also I understand it maybe from the aspect of marketing and PR,
Yes.
have intertwined
Yes,
in
yes.
Kenya.
Yes, yes.
So it's a bit,
Yeah.
you're doing marketing, but really there's PR aspects
Yes,
in that.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm understanding.
Yeah.
So 2015, now you get these clients still having issues with paying.
Yeah.
Those guys from the US have told you come next year.
Yeah.
You've got this app that you're working on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I get some Indians to work on the prototype.
Yeah.
So that I go present it in the US. So I have to go through the process of overseeing what the Indians are doing because they are cheaper
Yes.
to develop apps. And then...
So email correspondence.
Yes. Then I have to go through the process of getting visa. I go to the system. I was given a ridiculous, it was so close to the day of travel. I think I was given a date in March to go for the interview.
This is the next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go for the interview. It's my first time. And apart from that, I can share, I had also been invited to go for another church conference.
Ethiopia?
No, in the US. By someone I had met through my pastor. So he just invited me to go to this conference in the US. So actually when I was filling in the papers, I used his papers.
Okay.
So in 20...
But this time, are you still at Waterbrook? No?
Yes.
Oh, yes, at Waterbrook?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2015, I now go to apply for the visa. So I have the letter. So the funny thing is, so when I kept seeing them telling people to go home, they're not being given visa, I'm still seated there. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? So I go to the window and the guy asked me, who's Dennis? I'm like, I even forgot who's Dennis. Then I remember, oh, it's the guy, he's called Dr. Dennis. He's a guy who had invited me for the church conference. So I say, yeah, he's my mentor at that point, and I'm going for his conference. And then I remove the poster because these people didn't even send me an invitation. Then I tell the guy, but I'm also going for this particular event. You know how shady that is? But it's so honest and authentic. I didn't know it was shady. People are telling me, you actually went to an embassy and then you removed a poster and you said you're going to this to this event. So they asked me, who is Dennis? What are you going to do? What do you do in Kenya? I share. And then I remove a poster. And I'm also, and what else are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going for this event. The guy's like, okay, I've given you the visa. I didn't even hear what he said. I'm like, sorry? Go pick your, because they would process it immediately. And that's the first time they were giving the 5-year visa.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is Beba poster.
No. Be as you are. Yeah. Be authentic. Don't try to be someone else.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So you get your 5-year visa?
I get my 5-year visa and then the time comes to travel. So